Advisory Committee meeting. Start with item 1, the statement of acknowledgement. We would like to acknowledge this land that we meet on today is the traditional lands of the Kaurna people, and that we respect their spiritual relationship with their country. We also acknowledge the Kaurna people as the custodians of the Greater Adelaide region, and that their cultural and heritage beliefs are still as important as the living Kaurna people today. Attendance record. Welcome to Kate, the governance team head, Chia for the acting team leader, library and customer service manager. Apologies from Grace and Peyton. Anyone else? Any motions to grant leave of absence? No leave of absence. No attendance. Public open forum. We'd like to welcome Councillor Goldstone as well. Declarations of interest.
Sorry, that I have an interest in one of the members applying to the committee tonight. I'm related to them. Even though it's not a conflict, I would like to ask that I leave the room during that time. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Deb. Item 4, confirmation of minutes from November. Mover and a seconder, please. Thanks, Jade and Angus. Any business arising from the last minutes? No. Item 7.1, Youth Development Officer update, please.
Yes, thank you. I've just got a couple of things to add from the report since it's been written. We were lucky enough to attend the show, and due to obviously limited numbers being able to attend, it was just myself and Gyac and obviously Natasha from representing youth, and we had a stall on the Treasure Trail. So we did hand out lots of brochures. We had the school holiday programs ready, and it was really good to see the enrolments for school holidays coming in really fast. The couple of the programs sold out that weekend, which was great. We also extended our art competition during that time so that it was able to be advertised wider to some more youth in Gawler. And over that weekend, there was 28 new views to the participate in the online programs themselves. So that was really good to see that it actually was working. So the next thing that I'd like to update is that we have History Month Festival coming up in 2022, and that obviously there's an opportunity if anyone from our committee is interested to work with the Heritage Centre from Heritage to do a few things. So if you are interested, please let me know and I can provide you with her details, and you can have a chat with her how you can be involved. It can be by doing tours, or it could be helping out and doing different things like that. So if you would like to be involved, please let me know. The next thing that has changed, well, it's been added this time round under the leadership. We offered for you all to go to that Halogen leadership program in 2022 with obviously it being funded. The date now has been included, released, so it's the 9th of March. So I'll be popping a poll up on our Facebook page this week if you would like to go, if you could please answer. So now you can check the day and everything like that so we can make those arrangements. Also with the Gen Now piece, we just want to look at if anyone would like to write the piece for February or March in 2022. So if you do have an interest in that, we will start calling for that as well. So I'm happy to put a poll up. We sort of communicate quite well that way. Unless somebody wants to put their hand up tonight, I'm happy for you to let me know after the meeting. The next matter, obviously working with children's checks, we do need to make sure that you're all ready to receive your emails this week. So you will be receiving an email throughout the week, and you'll need to obviously activate that. So with your ID and things, if you've got any questions, you can contact us about that. So just remind you, please check your emails so that you are able to apply for those applications. that's all I've got, unless anyone's got any questions for me.
Okay, thank you, Deb. Next, oh, sorry, can we have a mover and a seconder to accept the report? Thanks, Gyac and Amelia. And all those in favour? Carried unanimously. Wonderful. We'll move on to 7.2, which is the appointment of members. We have, the report notes that we have 6 vacancies on the Goalie Youth Advisory Committee. 3 resignations have been received from Talon Traylor, Natalie White and Phaeton, C. They have stepped down from the committee due to other commitments. 1 vacancy is due to Isaac Solomon completing his 2-year term, and he has resubmitted an expression of interest form. Angus will turn 26 years of age in December, and under the terms of reference cannot reapply for a position. 1 vacancy has been a previous vacant position on the committee. We've received expression of interest forms from 4 people: Christian Clark, Isaac Solomon, Emerson Speed and Xanthe Kennedy. We'll give them each a chance to say a few words for a couple of minutes to the committee about yourselves and why you're interested in being on the Gyac. All right, so if we would like to start with Christian Clark. Sorry, Christian, we'll just get you to pause.
Yeah. I don't know if you can tell from my voice, I'm from England. I'm working at over at Goalie District College. I don't know if any of you guys go there. Previously, I was at the Northern Sound System doing some stuff with like youth and stuff. Yeah, it seems like a really cool thing to be doing on the Youth Advisory Committee. That was awkward, but
Okay, thank you, Christian. Isaac?
Hi, everyone. You probably already know me pretty well. I think the best thing to reflect on is a couple of the things that I'm proud of having led and been a part of while on the Youth Advisory Committee. I came into it when the youth space was still being designed and was lucky enough to be a part of that process. Obviously, led the working group for the youth space traineeship program, which is now come to fruition with Gyac over here being our first youth space trainee, and of course the continuing advocacy around things like public transport, and I'd love to be able to continue that work in my capacity on the Gyac.
Thank you, Isaac. Next, we will move on to Emerson Speed. If you'd like to get up and say a few words.
Hi. Oh, take this off. Hi, I'm Emerson. Not on again. Hello? There we go. Hi, I'm Emerson. I volunteer in the youth space doing drama, do refereeing, volleyball sometimes. The reason why I want to join the committee is because I want to know about the place I've been born and raised in, so I can know information and try to help as best as I can. Thank you.
Thank you, Emerson. Next, we've got Xanthe Kennedy. She's via Zoom. Would you like to say a few words, Xanthe?
Hello. First of all, can you hear me well?
Yes, we can.
All right. Well, hello. My name is Xanthe Kennedy. I've not really previously been involved with the Goalie Council in a real big way, but I've helped out at as many events as I could, and I'm a pretty popular face down at the youth space as I do drama and crafties getting gig ready, and I'm sometimes at cooking. I would really like to join the Goalie Youth Advisory Council because I would like to understand more about what goes on in Gawler and have a bit of a say too. Thank you.
Thank you, Xanthe. Does anyone have any questions for any of the candidates? No, okay. So we'll ask if the candidates, could you please step into the corridor while we have a discussion? All right. So I guess we open it up to discussion now. Any other comments, questions? Yes, Councillor Shanks.
Just confirming, we've got 6 spots with 4 candidates, don't we?
Yeah.
So unless we've got something completely wrong with one candidate, we'll probably move that they all join the group.
Yeah.
Cool, no worries.
If the committee's happy with that. All right, being that there's no other discussion, we'll welcome them back into the room. Do we move once they come back in? Yeah, okay, that's fine. All right, so can we have a mover, please, that they all be accepted? Brenna, and a seconder? Gyac? All those in favour? Unanimously carried. Now we'll welcome them back in. Right. Thank you, everyone. Having considered the nominations of the candidates for the expression of interest vacant positions, the Goalie Youth Advisory Committee recommends to Council that Christian Clark, Isaac Solomon, Emerson Speed and Xanthe Kennedy be appointed to the Goalie Youth Advisory Committee for a period of 2 years. All right. Yep. So item 8.1 is the chairperson verbal update. I might ask if Gyac has any update on that, considering he's been acting chairperson.
Guess in summary, there's nothing been too major since the last update I provided in November, outside of just the regular monthly meeting with the mayor, which was just a nice little catch up regarding heritage in the town of Gawler, and also sort of a bit more regarding sort of transport, just the usual topics of discussion given the Gyac's current sort of priorities, and also a bit about the climate emergency action plan, which will be soon. But yeah, that's about it, because I haven't been involved in the YAP or anything in that regards, because I think I'm not sure if it's been going in the past couple of months. But yeah, that's it. Short, sharp and shiny.
Thank you, Gyac. For item 8.3, the Youth Advisory Panel update, I'm on that panel. There hasn't really been much going on with that either. The schools did meet with the Honourable Mr. Piccolo a couple of times since then, just discussing a way of which we can catch up in like our school environments, but nothing has really come of it. There was a tour of Parliament House, but unfortunately due to my Year 12 commitments, I was unable to attend. Did someone attend that? Jade did. Would you like to talk about it, Jade?
Okay. So, yes, I attended on behalf of Renee. Being out of school, I guess I couldn't contribute as much, but it was really interesting to see how, we were given a subject of, I think it was sustainability within our school and our community. And it was interesting seeing how each school kind of prepared to give almost a presentation on what their school was doing. And it was interesting to see how representatives from my high school, Trinity, were different to the other schools that were there. And yeah, they did discuss meeting at campuses of each school in the future rather than all like at Parliament House, say. Yeah, that doesn't really affect me too much as I don't know school activities. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Jade. We've got the Gawler Youth's accessibility to transport discussion up next. Would anyone like to speak to that? Councillor Davies?
So just, we sort of, the agenda has an 8.1 and an 8.3. There is a climate emergency update that usually goes here. I was just wondering if, I don't know if Jade had an update on that one.
Yep, Jade?
So the last meeting was the 10th or the 11th, one of those days. And we basically just discussed the action plan and we're just editing it. We're final stages now where we're just going through, making sure the wording's correct. All like the graphs are nice and presentable. And yeah, pretty soon it should be ready to be presented to council. Look forward to that.
Thank you, Jade. Next, we move on to item 9.1, which is the tourism strategy digital storytelling. Oh, sorry, that's listed for future discussion. Questions without notice. Abby, I believe you have one.
I just had a question regarding where does all the stormwater in Gawler go?
I believe we need confirmation on that, so we'll take that question on notice, Abby, and we'll get back to you. Wonderful, thank you. So we'll move on to motions on notice, 11.1. We have Bike Month 2022. Committee member Gyac has given notice that he intends to move the following motion. Isaac?
Apologies. Did we skip part, or have we finished questions without notice? Because I did have some questions without notice.
Sorry, Isaac.
Prior to in item 10.
Sorry.
Have we? So there was no item 8.5, and we've gone past item 10 to item 11 now. Is that how it's proceeded? I did have some questions without notice. That's right.
Yes, so we can go back to 10 if you'd like, Isaac.
Thanks. Cool. Just through the chair, I'm not sure who to direct my questions to, whether that's the chair or someone else, but just as a bit of a background, there was no one who spoke to 8.4. That's because there hasn't, other than some correspondence from Natasha detailing that a letter hasn't been sent to the minister yet. No further information on that point that's been given at the moment, and hence why I'm going to ask a couple of questions. Was there a meeting between the minister, the mayor and the CEO recently to discuss issues of transport in the town of Gawler?
Through the chair, I understand there was a meeting. It wasn't specifically on transport issues in Gawler.
So did, when was the meeting, if possible, with the minister first scheduled?
I'll need to take that question on notice.
What advice was provided to the mayor and CEO in relation to transport in preparation for the meeting in question?
I'll need to take that question on notice as well.
And another further question, were council staff directed to delay drafting of the letter by the CEO or mayor directly or indirectly?
Through the chair, I drafted the letter for the mayor, and certainly there was no instruction to make any delays on that.
Meetings with the minister a regular occurrence? With meetings between the minister, the mayor and the CEO a regular occurrence, or was this a one-off occasion?
Through the chair, I'll need to take that question on notice.
And then a further question, was a briefing provided by council staff to the mayor and or the CEO on the subject of boundary reform for the meeting in question?
Through the chair, I'll take that question on notice.
Thank you, and I'll move that in accordance with the meeting procedure regulations that the questions and answers where practicable are printed in the minutes. That needs to be moved as a motion. I'll move it.
Through the chair, Kate, can we get some advice on that?
Yeah, yes, no, understandable that some answers may not be able to be printed in there, but I would ask that the questions be printed in there and any answers where practicable, as I believe it says in the meeting procedure regulations, if it's moved by the member asking the questions, that it can be done. Understandable if some answers need to be omitted from that.
So in terms of the minutes, yeah, my understanding is that the minutes of this meeting are something that we have 5 days officially to release minutes after a meeting has occurred under legislation. So getting answers to new questions and stuff can be difficult there, but we could have it in the, have it, I don't know, a motion that it comes back for, with the next meeting or something like that in the agenda, or I don't know if that would be an easier way, because yeah, the minutes is something that's legislatively we have to rush them out. But I'm happy for things to potentially be listed in some way.
And that's fine, and that's certainly understandable. I think I'm happy for the questions simply to be printed, which has precedent and has been done at many meetings before where questions have been asked, that the questions be printed in the minutes. If they have to be printed alone without answers, then that's substantial, and I'll move that. okay, if that's what's happening, if that's what can happen, then I'm happy to do that. It's just that in a previous meeting, I would note that was that advice is contrary to what happened at a previous meeting where it wasn't able to be attached to the minutes or the agenda after, and it was argued that it hadn't been moved at the previous meeting that they would be attached. Yep, that's fine. No, that's a satisfactory answer. And now that you've said it, and it's, you know, we've all heard it, that's fantastic.
Okay, thank you, Isaac. All right, we'll move on to motions on notice. 11.1, we have Bike Month 2022. Gyac has given notice that he intends to move that the Goalie Youth Advisory Committee recommends to Council that a subcommittee be formed for the purpose of organising activities and events to promote Bike Month in April 2022, and that 4 members be appointed to the subcommittee. Gyac, would you like to speak to this motion?
So the motion's pretty straightforward. Similar to last year, it'd be great to run Bike Month again in April, same time as this year's. Sorry, not quite out of 2021 yet. Hopefully by then the SEEP document is out and circulating within the public, so discussion on sustainable transport measures and sort of healthy activities will also be a bit more prominent within the community, and it'll be a great opportunity for youth and adults to uptake cycling as a way of mitigating their emissions, improving health, and ultimately just sort of reducing the amount of traffic in the town, which has positive social, environmental, and economic benefits. Thank you.
Thank you, Gyac. All right, thank you. Can we please ask for 4 members that may like to be a part of this subcommittee? Jade?
Quickly before that, does it have to be at this meeting that we appoint these members? If we have, say, any of our new members that wish to join, are they formally appointed as of this moment, or it's not until they're approved by council, right? So would it be okay if we had these 4 members appointed at our next meeting?
Gyac, would you be happy for this to be moved to next meeting? Yep, wonderful. Because yeah, the new members will have to be endorsed by council first. Okay. We'll move to motion on 11.2, the sponsorship of Student Leadership Awards. Councillor Davies has given notice that he intends to move that the Goalie Youth Advisory Committee recommends to Council that a report be presented to a future Goalie Youth Advisory Committee meeting that investigates the possibility of the Town of Gawler's sponsorship of Student Leadership Awards at our local schools, including options and potential budget implications. Councillor Davies.
Yeah, so this was sparked by an event I went along to a week or 2 ago. The Gawler District College had their awards ceremonies, and, you know, at the start it was just the regular awards of, you know, this student was the best in the class at science or that kind of thing. And then at the end it had, you know, like the local Rotary clubs, our local MP, etc., all sponsored some awards for students, and then someone came up and sort of, presented the student with the award, which is sort of a sponsorship. It can either be money or it can be, I think for when I talked to Rotary Light, they said that it wasn't money, it was a RIPEN sponsorship to attend their leadership conference. And I thought that's something that for Gawler District and also Trinity, this would be good, especially with I think focusing on the high schools, especially considering that year sevens are now moving into high school as of next year. It's sort of going to be in the range of people that it would be good to know about the youth space and the youth advisory committee. And we could have an award that's, it could be, there's a few options. We could have like a youth space award, for example, or we could have a youth advisory committee award, and it could be, the chair of the Gyac, for example, that hands out the certificate, and that would just be a way of saying that, all of those students would come along and they would be able to, welcome Councillor Vallelonga. All those students would be able to, sorry, I got distracted by a councillor peeking in through the door. They would know about the Youth Advisory Committee. That would be good for the future. So that's basically my idea behind it. It's vague at the moment. It basically says the report come back and then we'd have more information on it.
Thank you, Councillor Davies. All right, can we please have a mover and a seconder? Brenner and seconder Gyac, thank you. All those in favour? Unanimously carried. Okay, we have a second notice of motion from Councillor Davies that the Goalie Youth Advisory Committee recommends to Council that a report be presented to a future Gyac meeting regarding the current and former status of a Gawler Youth Development Plan or equivalent and the process to bring this up for review. Councillor Davies.
Yeah, so what this one is about is that we had a Gawler Youth Development Plan that expired in 2018. And basically it was, laying out, just a big document laying out what our, having feedback from, I think, over 700 youth or something like that, and laying out what we were going to do in our youth area. And it's out of date now because, as you would know, since 2018, the youth space has opened and that's completely changed what we do as a council when it comes to youth activity. So we just don't have an up-to-date version of that. And the emotion is, I was talking to staff before this about wording for the motion. It is, has been changed slightly, but the essence is the same. It's just the way in which the reports happen might tweak. So I'll read it out. So it's the Youth Advisory Committee recommends to Council that regular updates regarding the Youth Development Plan are included in the Youth Development Officer update reports. These updates will include the status of the Youth Development Plan and the process to bring this up for review. So this is just making it, rather than our report, making it part of the updates. That's the motion.
Thank you, Councillor Davies. Can I please have a mover and a seconder? Thank you, Abby. And a seconder, Angus. All those in favour? Unanimously carried. Motions without notice. Councillor Davies.
Yeah, I do have a new one, but this one's basically just, don't worry, it's nothing exciting. It's just, I don't think we've thanked Angus officially yet, who is being kicked out because he's too old. Just like me, that was my origin story also, except I got back in. It's the story I like to tell about Erin every time that I get the opportunity. She kicked me out of the Gyac, but so Angus is leaving us after a long tenure. I think you're the longest, the oldest serving current member of the Gyac? Because you're the only one that was on there back when I was there as a actual youth on this committee. It was like 6 years ago now or something like that. So he's been here a long time. So I don't know if he wants to say anything or, you know, give a speech, but yeah, I'll just moving that motion.
Thank you, Councillor Davies. So, Angus, would you like to say anything?
Yeah, sure. I'll throw out a couple of words. This has been a long time coming. Started 2 years ago when I realized that I was 4 days away from not being able to run again for the Youth Advisory Committee. Yeah, 2 years ago, because I was going to be turning 25 in the first year, which is the cutoff point. And so I got lucky and was able to stay around for an additional 2 years. Got to meet a whole bunch of the newer people on the committee. And yeah, as Councillor Davies said, I have been here for a while. I helped with a lot of projects throughout both the construction phase of this to the after party of the construction progress, and helped design a lot of the youth space and where it was located in the structure. And I guess as I look around the table today, I feel reassured to know where the youth of Gawler is going to be in well and truly good hands. So thank you for putting up with my terrible sense of humour, and I hope you find someone with a terrible sense of humour to replace me. So thank you.
Thank you, Angus. I will require a mover and a seconder to thank Angus, Cody and Brenna. Thank you. All those in favour? Unanimously carried. All right. That brings our... Any other motions without notice? Sorry. Nope. That brings our meeting to a close at 5:50 p.m. Our next meeting will be held on the 7th of February 2022, beginning at 6:30 p.m. Thank you all for coming. Have a Merry Christmas.